I cut off non-productive activities as soon as possible. So non-productive activity is a realtor coming in the office and gets on their desk, turns on their computer and plays poker. You know? And there's some people that do, they just get on their computer and they're surfing the internet. They think they're working because they're looking for the next way to get leads or something. And they're doing it all the time. I haven't seen so much time wasted in history since the internet picked up over the last 20 years. It's crazy. Watch out, right? I never think of work in my off time. I don't know if anybody could put up their hand and give themselves a T. Right? But we're going to try really hard to help you to not think of work in your off time. At all.
I don't.
Okay? I delegate everything I can to others. Is the next question. I remind myself that there's always time for what's important. So add up your T's. And according to Alan Lincoln, the time management guru, I'm going to give you your results. Add up your T's. And if you want to write down Alan's name somewhere, because he has a ton of books, his name's Alan Lincoln. I'll give you his name here again. Don't put it in the lines that are supplied for you. Just write down his name there. Somewhere in your book. Again, not in those lines on the bottom. Don't put his name down there, please, for yourself. Write it to the left somewhere on that wonderful blank page I give you every time. And he's a time management guru, and he has a ton of books. So let's do the results. And just write in what applies to you. So, how many of you had between 13 and 15 T's? Wow, that's very rare. That's impressive. So, in those lines there, just you, nobody else. You write down that you're a time management expert, and today will be a polishing for you, okay? Go ahead and write that down. How many of you had between, let's see here, 10 and 12? You had 10 to 12 T's? That's amazing. That's amazing. Because that means that you're good at time management, and today will bring you to the next level. So you two guys, you really don't need much from today's lesson. Hardly at all. Time management experts. So who had, and most of the class will have between 6 and 9. Who had between 6 and 9? Yeah, you guys, just write down that you need to take good notes when we're teaching this today. Really good notes. And I know some of you may not want to admit it, but we're all amongst friends, yes? So who had between 3 and 5? Might have been one person? No? Okay, well if you did, that would mean you are all wandering aimlessly. So you'd have to take lots of notes. You'd copy your neighbor's notes. You go home and make more notes, and you listen to today's audio track 10 times. So there probably wasn't anybody that got 0 to 2, right? Oh, there was? Ooh. Then you absolutely have no concept of time period at all. So make sure you write that down there. Did everybody write down theirs?
Yeah.
Remember, you don't write down the other stuff. You just put the one that applies to you. This is just for us to have some fun right here. You didn't have one, Peter?
I did.
Oh, yeah, these lines right there meant for it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, those lines on the bottom. So what does it say on the lines? Our what?
Quiz results.
Quiz results, yeah. The quiz results is where you put that, okay? Well, let's keep going here. What we're going to do is we're going to go about 5 minutes, then take a really quick break.
Okay.
Really quick. And then we're going to come back and we're just going to go really hard for about 30, 40 minutes. Have lunch between 11:45 to 12 is when we'll break. And we'll get back and try to get started at 12:45. Just for today. Normally lunch is in the lunch hour, but we need to do it a little different today. So let's go through this here. Time management, continue. To understand the value of 1 year, ask a student who failed a grade. To understand the value of 1 month, ask a mother who gave birth prematurely. To understand the value of 1 week, ask the editor of a weekly paper. There's still some weekly things online now. Weekly papers delivered aren't, you don't see that very often anymore, but an editor always feels like they never have enough time, even if it's a weekly publication. To understand the value of 1 hour, ask 2 lovers that are waiting to meet. That can seem like a whole week, yes? And to understand the value of 1 minute, ask a person who just missed the plane. So you can go ahead and ask me, because I fly about 75 times a year. How many planes do you think I've missed? You know, I fly 70 times a year, 20 years. That's 1,400 flights. How many do you think I've missed? 1,400 flights, how many do you think I've missed? Just a guess. If you could say any number, just a guess.
25%?
25, well, not number, like 1,400? Out of 1,400, what do you think? 300? I've missed one.
Oh.
Yeah. And so actually what happened when I was teaching in Edmonton and I was flying to Calgary, and for some reason I looked at the arrival time as my departure time. It was just the weirdest thing. And I'd already been doing this for 10 years. Now I'm into it for 20 years. So no, I don't miss flights very often. By the way, I've told you I've flown a lot, right? Yes?
Yeah.
And out of all the times I've flown, half the time I check a bag. Because I have too much stuff. Most of the time I just have a garment bag and carry it on. So, out of all the times that I've checked a bag, how many times do you think the airline has lost my bags? Out of 700 flights, let's say. How many times do you think have they lost it?
5.
How many? 300? 5 times?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One.
They haven't lost it ever. Not once. Never. Now, my question was, how many times do you think they lost it, not how many times was it late? Remember, late, yeah, lots of times it's happens, right? But I don't check a bag much anymore anyways. So the next one is, to understand the value of 1 second, ask a person who avoided an accident. Like in a car. You know, you jump a light, or you know, you slow down a little extra and somebody else does it, and it's this type of weather, winter weather, holy cow, right? To understand the value of 1 millisecond, ask a person that won a silver at the Olympics. If you win a silver at the Olympics, have you actually won the race?
No.
No. If you won a bronze at the Olympics, are you a winner?
No.
No. It's one of the few sports where the top 3 people get rewarded. Well, some of the, what do they call it? Participation awards are a little out of hand these days, I think. But the other thing is, I'll take questions in a second here. The other thing is the silver medalist is actually in 2nd place, but how close were they sometimes to the gold medalist? If it's a race, like a photo finish.
Millisecond.
Yeah, and guess what? The person that got the gold, what kind of endorsement do they get on a cereal box compared to the silver? Could be millions of dollars, isn't that right?
Yes.
All right, so let me just say one more thing, and then we'll pause for a minute, take some questions and a quick break. So to better understand time, I'll take questions in just a sec.
Can you
Go back.
No. So to better understand time, we got to have some balance here. Sounds good?
Yes.
Okay, so we were talking about our business life and our family life. And if you don't have balance in your business life and your family life, you will not have a personal life. That's where we're going to pick up after the break. But I have to ask you a question. How many hours are there in a week for you? For these 3 areas. How many hours in a week do you have for your business life, your family life, and your personal life? Give me a number. How many hours? Just a guess is fine. How many hours in a week?
168.
168. Good job. So 168 hours in a week. There's 24 hours a day. How many days a week?
7.
7. That's 168. Everybody has the same amount of time. Nobody gets any more or any less. So if these are the 3 areas in our life that we have to have balance in, the question is, what are our objectives for each area? I want you to take a quick break and ponder that for me, please. Thank you.